Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We are the Owatonna School Board. This is Monday, February 28th. It's 5:30. I'm going to call our meeting to order. We know that Eric is out of town. Nikki is arriving as she rolls in. We're going to give her just a second to gather herself and get collected. As soon as she sits down, we'll stand up and say the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First up tonight would be to approve the agenda as presented. We'll entertain a motion to that effect.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor with an aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Item 4 tonight is the mission moment. I'm going to turn things over to Mr. Elstad.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Tonight is my privilege. I'm going to ask our adult basic education staff to come on up here. And thank you. Tonight, as part of our mission moment and going back to not only our commitment to high quality teaching and learning, but also our commitment to making sure that all students, we have a safe and caring and giving community. This adult learning team impacts adult learners in our district over the age of 17 who earn their high school equivalency diploma, enhance basic math and literacy skills, and improve the digital competence skills. Staff also provide English as a second language instruction. Our ABE team is highly collaborative within the Owatonna community and focuses intentionally on individual students' assets and goals. The team brings high energy and enthusiasm to support adults in mastering skills needed to build careers that better themselves, their families, and their community. The team has also initiated a student leadership council designed to guide and support the delivery of ABE/ESL instruction. I think the board heard from that committee not too long ago. Teachers at our Adult Learning Center continue to use hybrid teaching with the goal of giving adult students the flexibility of learning in person or online, depending upon their family situation. We are so grateful as a school district to have a caring Adult Learning Center team that really go the extra mile to help all of our students. And just as an anecdote, our students that are in the ABE program are some of the most highly motivated adults I've ever been around, because they are so motivated to get their credentials and move on and really become a contributing member to our community, find a job. And now with the addition of Brian Coleman and others that are really helping to provide those unique opportunities for our adult basic learners, just another group. So I can't be more grateful to this team that really add something to our community, that really bring value and self-worth to some of our students and adults in the community. Tonight, joining us, if you can raise your hand quick as I left him, Mick Behrens, Jacqueline Skalicki, Kim Ryant, Lydia Yankee, Deb McDermott Johnson, and I missed one name.
She's from our student council. You've met her previously.
Oh, yes. Say the name again. I'm sorry, Deb.
Lolita.
Lolita. Thank you, Lolita. And thank you for being a real leader among our student group. So let's give them a round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. Elstad, thank you. Item 5 tonight is public forum. This is a good opportunity to remind everyone of the importance of meeting decorum. We do not allow slander, defamation, profanity, personal attacks, or revelations of private data. And as chair, I respectfully request that the public refrain from interrupting speakers during public forum. You're provided 3 minutes. Asked to state your name and the subject you wish to address. It appears as though we have one card. April St. Martin, come on up, please. Good evening. Welcome.
Well, once again, my name is April St. Martin, and my email is snapril1977@yahoo.com. My phone number is 507-456-6401. This is not the first time that I have given out this information at a public forum, and once again, I dare any of you to grow a backbone and call me so that we can have a real discussion about certain concerns that this community does have. If I'm being honest, I'm a little disappointed, but I'm not surprised that not one of you that is on the stage has tried to reach out to me since the last public forum that I gave out my information to. So I know that everyone is busy, and I do respect that, but so am I. And I'm willing to prioritize these discussions because this community is very important to me. But my question to each and every one of you that is sitting on this stage is, are you willing to prioritize this community? My first and number one concern is, and always has been transparency. I am concerned about the lack of transparency in this school district. I have had personal experiences that lead me to believe that the school board and even our superintendent is not being 100% transparent with information, even when community members, such as myself, have asked for it. Getting any information, no matter how small, is very hard to get from District 761, and any information we do get is largely redacted, including information that is given out to the press. How is that transparent? Let me be clear, my main concern is about the lack of transparency in the Owatonna School District. I would like to finish with asking a couple of questions that I will probably never get the answers to, but I'm going to ask anyway. Questions like, why am I not allowed to talk to any librarian or any librarian EAs and ask them questions about what is in the school libraries? Why is it that I am not allowed to discuss any concerns with the media specialist, Kayla Stanton? Why was I told that tomorrow, when I do get to look at some of the information that I personally requested, that the person will be watching me won't be able to answer any of the questions that I might have? Now, those are just a few questions that I do have that someday I would like to sit down with people and just ask and maybe get a real answer to. From previous interactions with everyone on the stage, though, it does seem that no one is interested in listening to and addressing any concerns that community members do have. Why is that? Again, my email is snapril1977@yahoo.com, and my phone number is 507-456-6401. I look forward to having some real discussions and talking to each and every one of you about some of our community's concerns and starting the process of working together as a whole community with one common goal: to inspire every learner every day to not only succeed, but to excel at whatever they choose to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 6 tonight is general information. Does anybody have a question for Mr. Elstad or members of his staff with regard to the enrollment report that was in your packet?
No, just a comment. I was glad to see no hot spots this time around. So certainly improvement there.
Yeah, in our elementary buildings, yeah.
Yeah, that was basically my question, because I knew we had a hot spot. Did something change? Did we get some students that transitioned out?
Yes, we had a family transition out, and again, it was that close that we had just a larger
Yeah.
family that moved within the district, actually, and went to a different building, so.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Anything else? Okay. Item 7 tonight. First item, item A, would be board forum. Daniela, we'll start with you.
Sure. Things are going pretty smoothly at the high school, I would say, for all students, especially with the new semester starting. A few new things happening. There's a wonderful play going on called The Addams Family. I would really recommend you all to go. There's a talent show coming up early March for NHS, so if you guys would like to come to me for tickets and I'll sell you some. But there isn't much new at the high school other than that. Yeah.
I'm excited to be a judge at the Wilson Science Fair coming up. So, I get to learn all sorts of things that I probably never knew about. So, that's all I got.
Thanks.
I'll be judging as well.
Deborah and I sat in on a facilities update. The new OHS continues to be on time and on budget. As we speak, there are quite a number of walls going up and framing that is happening. They seem quite positive about things that are happening there. And with regard to the current OHS, there was a task force that has met at least 4 times over the course of the winter. They are getting close to a recommendation. The process was that they put out what is called an RFPP, a request for a preliminary proposal, asking qualified, what would you call them, investors, developers, that if they have a viable plan that fundamentally and financially makes sense, that they would bring that forward. We anticipate that they would approach and make a recommendation at our last meeting in the month of March on the 28th to the board. The first meeting in April, which would be our work session, will be our opportunity to chew on that, and then we as a board will make a decision with regard to the current OHS at the end of April on the 25th.
Mr. Sebring, if I can interject, I think the plan was we're meeting with that team, the task force, to mull around the proposal, and then they'll make their formal recommendation at the April 11th work session.
Okay, gotcha.
And then the meeting in April would be for the board to consider the recommendation.
I follow.
And potentially take action.
Got
with
it.
that. Yep.
That makes more sense. And Lori, I'm going to skip over you for just a sec. Deborah, did you hear anything else in the facilities meeting that I didn't get in that?
No.
Okay. As long as you get the mic, anything for board forum?
Nope.
Lori?
Sure. Just a couple quick things. I too will enjoy the science fair, so looking forward to that next week. Enjoyed a great boys basketball game the other night. I thought I better take one in quick before the season's over. Enjoyed the Addams Family production. It was excellent. And then Wednesday, a little more serious note, there is a virtual Meet Your Legislator session, so I will be participating in that. So we'll see what's happening at our legislature.
Jolene,
Nothing.
all right.
Thank you.
Turn things over to Mr. Elstad for the administrative report.
Yeah, thank you. A few items to update you on today. I believe that all of you as board members and our Washington parents and community were made aware this morning that we had an unforeseen water main break at our Washington Elementary campus. Just to kind of give you a background, so we recognized last Friday afternoon that something was not quite right, so we actually hired the plumbing company to come in and look at it. They put a repair that they thought would allow us to at least get us through and not disrupt the instruction for our students. However, this morning at about 7:55, that all changed, and water started coming up through the walls and into the building. They were able to shut the water off in time to not have it really impact any other flooring, so there was no water damage in the building, which is a real blessing, because if it would happen at 4 o'clock in the morning, we would be having a different discussion. We did alert our Washington parents this morning that they were to come and pick up their kids or get buses. Thankfully, the bus company was able to make it work to get our kids back. That was excellent work to get our students safely home. So the water is shut off, which you can't really have a school when water is shut off in the building because you need functioning toilets and so on and so forth. So the students were sent home today. We're asking for one more day because we actually had to drive to get parts today. The plumbing company will be replacing that tomorrow and taking as long as it takes to get that issue resolved. So that we do plan to have a school on Wednesday, the 2nd of March. So tomorrow we are doing a distance learning day with our Washington students. And the parents received communication just before 3 o'clock today on that item. So best laid plans can turn, and so we were able to, I'm thankful to the Washington staff, to the bus company, and to others that really came together to make that and resolve that quickly for our students. As Lori mentioned, a quick legislative update. We will be meeting on Wednesday afternoon for a virtual day at the Capitol. We do have plans to meet with Senator Jasinski, I hope. He's still recovering from his injuries that he accrued in a snowmobile accident. We will be meeting with Representative Petersburg as well as other members of the Senate and House. A couple things that we will be, one thing in particular that we're really looking to find their support with, which is levy equalization for our district. We're in a spot where our taxpayers end up paying more than other taxpayers in other school districts to get the same amount of service and dollars accrued. And so what we're asking the House and Senate members to consider is equalizing that so the zip code of where your kids attend school doesn't have a factor in how much our taxpayers are paying, nor does it impact the amount of dollars coming in that continue to provide quality programs for our students. Related, but a little bit unrelated, I've been working with Senator Jasinski's office. I'll be meeting with Representative Petersburg on Wednesday to hopefully be a companion bill in the House. Senator Jasinski has entered a bill for a proposal that would add a mechatronics lab that I've spoke of before at our new Owatonna High School as well as our Riverland campus. This is a highly sought after career pathway at this point because a mechatronics lab, as I'm learning more about it, includes automation, robotics, and advanced manufacturing that will really serve our business community well, and especially our manufacturers. And so we're awaiting that. We've got Senator Jasinski's full support on it. I'm meeting, as I mentioned, with Representative Petersburg to hopefully craft a companion bill in the House that will bring that sort of service to this community. Our business partners would not only be able to utilize that for recruitment of our high school students coming through, but they would also be able to use it for their current employees for advanced training. So really could be a really quality experience. And then I also attended the Addams Family, a wonderful production. I was a little moved yesterday because it was so great to have kids back in an auditorium performing and a full crowd of people there enjoying the show. We haven't done that for a couple years, and boy, was I glad to be able to be part of that. And then lastly, just congratulations. We've had a very successful winter activities season. Just to name a few, we are sending 8 wrestlers to the state wrestling tournament that starts on Thursday, including 2 of our young ladies that are going to be going to the first ever state wrestling tournament for girls. And what a great hallmark event for our girls to be in the state wrestling tournament. And then also we have an individual that qualified, Cole People, for the swimming and diving state tournament, or state meet, excuse me, that's coming up this weekend as well. But between board meetings, our state gymnastics team was 6th in the state gymnastics meet. And today we wished our state mock trial that are headed off to the state mock trial competition. So very successful. I continue to be amazed at the number of activities that students can be part of. And it really brings a high school together. So that concludes my report tonight. Thank you.
Did you want to talk about COVID numbers?
Yes, I will. And it's all good news, and I've said this before. I'm hoping that at some point we don't have to talk about this. Today in our entire district, we had 4 reported cases. That's great news. I met with Steele County Public Health this afternoon. The numbers in Steele County continue to drop as well. I informed the bus company today, so we're able to take the masks off when we're doing busing as part of the new federal guideline. But again, making positive momentum in that way, and hopefully we can push beyond this and finish strong with our school year.
Good.
So, thanks.
Thank you. In fact, I'm going to ping pong it right back to you, item 7B1, which is American Indian Education. Mr. Elstad will make some introductions here.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to invite Michelle Krell to come up to the microphone. This is something that is annually required by the school board because and I'll let Michelle go because I'm probably going to steal your thunder here, Michelle, so go ahead.
You started with the word annually, me too. Annually, the Minnesota Department of Education requires districts to report on our American Indian Parent Advisory Committee. So we have to have a Parent Advisory Committee. We have to hold at least 1 meeting. Leanne Jim is our chair, but she was unable to attend this evening. We held our annual American Indian Parent Advisory meeting at the end of January. We shared information about the world's best workforce and how that relates to our American Indian education. We shared educational opportunities that are offered through the Minnesota Department of Education for all of our families. And then in addition to that, we sent all of that information out to families that weren't able to attend. And so at that time, we also asked for any kind of feedback as far as the education that they're receiving in the Owatonna Public Schools. And at this time, we've had no questions from our American Indian families on their child's educational programming. So at this point, I'm working on completing the paperwork that will be sent into the Minnesota Department of Education, showing that we're in compliance with the work that we're doing with our American Indian families.
Anything we need to take action on tonight?
No, I don't believe so. I think I just need to report to you that we held the meeting and that our American Indian families are pleased with the work we're doing.
Right.
And afterwards, I'll have a form for you to sign.
Okay.
All right.
Good. Any questions for Michelle?
Thank you.
Moving on, item 8 tonight would be the consent agenda. A quick reminder, we are approving the minutes from January 24 and February 14, the disbursement as well as the personnel report. Any reason to pull anything out, vote on it separately. Hearing none, we'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Tim here has graciously agreed to serve as our clerk tonight, so it's a roll call vote. Tim, thank you.
Jolene,
Aye.
Deborah,
Aye.
Lori,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Nikki,
Aye.
aye from me, 6-0.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. And item 9 tonight, final item, would be the gifts to the district. I'll turn things back over to Mr. Elstad.
Yeah, thank you. Quite a lengthy gift tonight to take quite a lengthy resolution on the acceptance of gifts tonight. In total tonight, what you're being asked to consider accepting is nearly $25,000 worth of gifts to the district. I'll highlight a few of the bigger ones. We have incredibly philanthropic booster clubs. Girls basketball is donating money back to the high school for materials, equipment, things like that. The PTOs, also the Wilson PTO designated or has gifted over $5,000 for headphones for students to use. So again, just very philanthropic and a large amount tonight with all of the groups that have started to kind of contribute at the end of their seasons. So.
Any questions? One of you be kind enough to introduce this motion.
I move that the board approve the gifts as presented.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Tim, if you would, please.
Okay, Jolene,
Aye.
Deborah,
Aye.
Lori,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Nikki,
Aye.
and I am an aye, 6-0 pass.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. We will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor with an aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, folks.